Tallahassee has been hit with a lawsuit. We'll tell you why developers are now looking for upwards of $25 million.
Right now, we're planting 30 acres here at this one location.
And it is the crop that could mean lots of green for Florida's future. Find out what farmers have to say about what looks to be the largest hemp research operation in the state.
Schools are not in the business of growing test takers. We're in the business of growing citizens.
Plus, educators, commissioners, and parents have come together to form a new committee to keep Leon County Title I school grades up to par. We'll take you inside the Southside Student Success Conference this morning on Sunrise.
Live from the WTXL studios, this is ABC 27 Sunrise.
Thank you for joining us for Sunrise on WTXL on ABC 27. I'm Cara Bailey, and it is Friday. Lots to look forward to this weekend. We're going to get you right over to First Alert meteorologist Reed Leibarger. What should we prepare for as we head out this weekend?
I would say have a rain jacket or umbrella, Andy.
Definitely duly noted.
Yeah, if you have the rain jacket umbrella, you should be okay. Again, we got graduations. There is a lot happening this weekend that starts tonight all through tomorrow and Sunday. So rain is definitely in the forecast. This morning, FSU's weather stem camera, see towards the end of that loop, some sunlight starting to peek over. That sun comes up in about 25 minutes. Temperatures, give or take a few degrees, right around average of 72. We got 68s in Moultrie and Thomasville, mid-70s down along the Gulf Coast. It's comfortable. It's a little humid outside, but it's also August. Your Titan radar showing some showers and thunderstorms. A little light show just south of Franklin County offshore, but we do remain dry over land. Saw some rain early this morning. We'll see some more rain through the course of the day. So again, rain jacket, umbrella, have them. For the rest of the day, temperatures warming up into the lower 80s by late morning. Not going to see the mid-90s today, so that's nice, but still warm, humid. We're going to take a more detailed look at that forecast and check the tropics in just a few minutes.
All right, Reed, good deal. The city of Tallahassee is now facing a lawsuit from the developers of the Washington Square project. It's about the East Side parking garage that you can find just behind the Leon County Courthouse. Now, the suit filed Thursday says the city of Tallahassee made an agreement with Fairmont Tallahassee to allow free parking in the first floor of the garage and a perpetual easement that granted another 4,800 square feet of surrounding land. Then it states that last September, the city went back on its word. The city found that repairs were necessary for the garage and said that the perpetual easement only exists as long as the garage is standing. Now, Fairmont says that they were forced to stop working on the $150 million project. The lawsuit says that almost $25 million has already been spent on the project and that number will keep growing if the delay continues. Now, the city responded to the suit saying in part, quote, the city is committed to supporting economic development as evidenced by the easement agreement, and we want to see this project come to fruition while protecting the interests of local taxpayers. It is 6:34 this morning in Leon County. Commissioner Bill Proctor hosted the Southside Student Success 2020 and Beyond Conference Thursday. That was for educators, parents, and leaders to discuss what they can do to improve grades for Leon County schools. Testing results show that many of the Title I schools on the South Side are falling below grade level in English, math, and science. Now, those schools include Bond Elementary, John G. Riley Elementary, and Griffin Middle School. School improvement strategist Dr. Jessica Wallace McBride says it's important to bring the community together and share some insight.
Schools are not in the business of growing test takers. We're in the business of growing citizens. And these citizens are going to grow up and either contribute to our society or they're going to be a dredge on our society.
Now, the conversation addressed everything from school safety to funding for Title I schools, even parent-teacher engagement. And while a follow-up meeting has not yet been scheduled, the committee does plan to meet regularly when it becomes more organized. It is 6:35 this morning. More than 1,400 students from Florida State University will celebrate an educational milestone this evening during FSU's summer graduation ceremony. Graduates from 8 of the university's colleges will receive their keynote keynote address from former Speaker of the Florida House and former FSU Board of Trustee member Alan Bentz, who you see here. Now, this evening's ceremony starts at 7:30 p.m. at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Students from the remaining colleges will take their walk across that very same stage Saturday morning at 9 a.m. For more information, you can visit our website, WTXL.tv. And several Rattlers will be graduating as well. Florida A&M University has set its graduation ceremony for 6 p.m. in the Al Lawson Center on Wanish Way. Reverend Adam Jefferson Richardson Jr., Senior Bishop of the AME Church and FAMU alum, will provide the keynote address just before degrees are conferred for more than 300 graduates. Congratulations to all of the graduates as you head into the professional world. Time now is 6:36, and graduation isn't the only big news coming from FAMU. The university is involved in the next step for Florida as the state takes on the hemp industry with the goal of sowing the largest hemp research crop in the state. Our Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders spoke with scientists who expect to learn a lot before farmers start planting.
When it comes to Florida hemp research, it doesn't get much bigger than this.
Right now, we're planting 30 acres here at this one location.
Near Bardo, Green Earth Cannaceuticals, in partner with Florida A&M University, got in the ground Thursday. The goal here is very simple. Find out what works and what doesn't when growing Florida hemp.
It's a very hardy plant. It's just going to require learning some tricks in the industry to make sure you're not losing crops.
The research will help future farmers who want to grow this stuff, which looks like weed but lacks the high. Hemp has hundreds of uses and lots of interest given that it'll soon be legal to grow in Florida. But without knowing how it handles the heat, what variety of plant works best, and how to avoid pests, farmers could end up investing hundreds of thousands of dollars with little return.
We can't jump ahead of ourselves.
Dr. Charles Weatherford is overseeing the FAMU research. He hopes this operation and others planned at future sites will iron out hemp wrinkles before the state allows commercial farming, which is expected to become an up to $20 billion industry.
We've got to get the research done, make sure what we're doing is consistent with agriculture in Florida and adapted to agriculture in Florida. Otherwise, it's going to be not a very good situation.
Harvest here is expected in October, but the knowledge gained starts day one. Commercial growers are still waiting on the Ag Office to give them a green light so they can get plants in the ground. They're waiting on new rules from the state, which are set to start sometime here in the coming months. And then plants can get in the ground maybe by fall. In Tallahassee, Forrest Saunders, WTXL, ABC 27.
Now, this isn't the first hemp research operation in Florida. The University of Florida does have another site, but it is not quite as big. Now, several viewers, just like you, are commenting on social media about your rights when it comes to hemp versus marijuana. We told you yesterday that State Attorney Jack Campbell says he will not prosecute marijuana cases without a test that distinguishes between the two. What that means for you, though, is that until the state attorney can prove that the plant is marijuana and not hemp, those found in possession cannot be prosecuted.
You know, the officers, may have the ability to arrest if they have a confession or an admission. Absent that, they don't have sufficient probable cause for what they used to have.
Now, Don Pumphrey is a criminal defense attorney. While you cannot be prosecuted without a test, that does not mean that you are in the clear just yet. If the plant is tested and it is marijuana, you can face prosecution later under the statute of limitations. That means misdemeanor 2 years, felony 4 years. Currently, there is not a public lab to test hemp and marijuana in the state, but the Department of Agriculture says it's working on a solution. In a statement, the department says, quote, "A new test is currently being developed by a third-party company, which would allow law enforcement officials to test cannabis samples for THC at a level which will determine whether they are hemp or marijuana."
The time now is 6:39. We are getting closer to sunrise, and you can tell by the end of our loop here on the Weather Stem camera at FSU, it's starting to brighten up a bit. A couple clouds in the sky. That's about all you got going for you this morning. We did have some showers earlier. Now checking the tropics for you. 96 out. That was still is just a kind of disturbed area weather down in the central Atlantic, showing lower development odds than we talked about yesterday due to kind of worsening conditions. More dry air getting wrapped around in that circulation, so it doesn't look great there. We will see it approach the Lesser Antilles, maybe becoming something by early next week. For the rest of today, temperatures will be warming up into the mid to upper 80s, some spots lower 90s. I would pack the rain jacket and umbrella. We got your full forecast details in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Reed. Now time for a check of First Alert traffic this morning. It is 6:40. Finally Friday, and it does look like we have one accident to tell you about. Aside from that, not too much activity in the capital city, but we will kind of zoom in on this and get some more details so that you'll have a better idea of what you need to avoid during your morning commute this morning. As you can see on your screen right now, this is on Monroe Street, right at Wigington Road. If you are familiar with that area and you are able to navigate around it, that would be our best advice to you this morning. A quick look at the drive times for you. 5 to 6 minutes on Monroe Street, depending on which direction you are headed. If you are on I-10 headed westbound from Thomasville to Monroe Street, you'll be looking at about a 3-minute commute. And that'll do it for your check of First Alert traffic. For now, here is a look at last night's Fantasy 5 numbers. Good luck to you this morning. It is 6:41.